Hello everyone and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. Last time we played, we essentially completed all the main quests up until the final mission. Um, where we were was Gaia Prime over here. We also obtained the best armor in the game, the Shield Weaver. Um, so, yay. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to first collect the remaining collectibles, so the metal flowers and the vantage points. And then, assuming we have time, we're going to head up into the cut to begin the DLC. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry, I had to blow my nose there. But yeah, so collectathon real quick, and then we'll head to Frozen Wilds DLC. Excuse me. Yeah. Fire arrows ready. And there's the flower. Alright. Meadow Flower Mark IIA. When dawn has her hands with the blood of the horizon, let the new bride of the golden veil uncover her shining face. Alright. I'm gonna go here. That Glenhawk chased me all the way from fast travel.
Ouch.
Alright, Metal Flower Mark II Echo. Even this morning, O swan, awake, arise, follow me. There is a land where no doubt nor sorrow have rule, where the terror of death is no more. There are the woods of spring are abloom, and the fragrance, and he is born on the wind. There the bee of the heart is deeply immersed, and desires no other joy. Alright. And then we'll go here. Hey Sly! Gonna be like an okie dokie. Yeah, for the most part, this is gonna be a more laid back episode. I'm just getting collectibles for the most part.
Metal flowers.
Alright. I saw a mountain, its haughty peak, and bunched the spine vying the words on high, deflecting every salvo of the wind and shouldering the starlight from the sky. Brooding above the dunes like some great thinker, considering days to come as nights go by. With black clouds wrapped about it for a turban, and bangs of redhead lightning in its face. And though the night that tongueless mountain uttered marvelous things. Don't ask me what any of this means, because I am not a poet.
Well, why not?
Exactly. Well, why not? I don't understand it. Ow. Boy. Okay, I gotta get up there somehow. And I did see a Glinthawk. Jump and climb. I don't think it's gonna work on that. No, here's a way. for you, Glenhawk. Oh, there's the climbing path. I went right when I should have went left.
A wind sculpture.
Alright, mother. Tick. It is only because you will never read these glyphs that I can write them. After a lifetime of longing, I spent only a single night with Ely, your mother. A memory that I cherished, but she reviled. A burning coal of guilt she carried in her belly. And so I wonder, was her guilt laid bare the night Signet, our chieftain, was killed? Did he discover the truth? Was she forced to defend herself? If only I had been there, to stand between them, to actually strike the blow I was punished for. At least then I would have been her champion, the father you deserved, for a single moment. I paint this mark with eternal regret, and leave you this offering that will never touch the warmth of your hands.
A nuke, probably.
Alright. So we'll go down here. Okay, is it above or below the bridge? Looks like it's below.
Look at this.
Alright, Mark 3J. It may indeed be fantasy when I essay to draw from all, or it may be indeed fantasy when I essay to draw from all created things. Deep, heartfelt, inward joy that closely clings, and trace in leaves and flowers that round me lie. Lessons of love and earnest piety. So let it be, and if the wide world rings in mock of this belief it brings, so will I build my altar in the fields, and the blue sky my fretted dome shall be, and the sweet fragrance that the wild flower yields shall be the incense I will yield to thee, the only God, and thou shalt not despise, even me, the priest of this poor sacrifice. I don't know if they all form up together to make one poem or what. Oh, shit. Ow. Where the frack is this thing? Is there a cave? I love it when the objectives line up. Not. Well, let's check this island. Maybe it's over here.
That's got their attention.
Helps if I'm, facing the target. Maybe it's on the shore. Yep, there it is.
Probably needed the wash.
Alright, Mark 8. Low in the eastern sky is set thy glancing eye, and though its gracious light ne'er riseth to my sight, yet yet every star that climbs above the gnarled limbs of yonder hill conveys thy gentle will. Alright. Let's grab this one. Why are there stalkers here?
Machine saw me.
Leave me alone, you stupid machines.
Calm, calm.
Come on, burn. There you go. Alright. When you're so full of sorrow that you can't walk, can't cry anymore, think about the green foliage that sparkles after the rain. When the daylight exhausts you, when you hope a final night will cover the world, think about the awakening of a young child. Yeah, I'm not sure what these are supposed to combine into, if anything. Alright, go here. Oh, that's just the tall neck. Hi, Geo.
Red light.
Right now we're trying to get all the collectibles that are left before we head into the Frozen Wilds. Ew. Thank God for my shield. That's right, the Shield Weaver can protect you from certain amounts of fall damage. Because it takes the damage for you. Any more? We've got this vantage point here. Then we've got this vantage point here. That flower. And that should be it. So 3 more collectibles to go. Lake Powell.
Day 11. I came out here to die. But instead of overdosing at Wyatt's cottage, I went out walking along the water. I was standing right here when the idea hit me. And the moment it did, I knew I had to do it.
All right. Okay, so I came here with a duffel full of drugs after I found out about the plague. I had a plan, a simple one. Figured I'd spend a few days getting high, and OD on Overcast. I guess I was still furious at Wyatt for aiding and abetting your silence. If everything had gone according to plan, my corpse would have laid rotting in the cottage for who knows how long. He would have needed at least catastrophic cleaning bots just to scrape me off the floor. A skeletal middle finger from beyond the grave. But things didn't go to plan. For some reason, I went out walking before I got high. Trudged along the shore, thinking of all the times we walked and talked here. How I'd changed over the years, how you'd stayed the same. Whether I was a high schooler jabbering about AP classes or a university student gossiping about my professors or an FAS engineer pontificating about payload yields. You're always there, always listening, always interested, and always encouraging me, of course, spurring me on, onwards and upwards. But now, here I was, an abject failure, standing alone on the speech, as all around me children chased play bots across the sand. Sunbathers basked, families splashed in the water, or zipped past on old-timey boats, utterly oblivious to the mechanical terrors that would soon consume them. Brief moments in the sun, doomed to end in horror, it amounts to nothing. All your love and devotion, all the sacrifices you made to support my success, what did it come to? Failure. And at such cost. I never even got a chance to say goodbye. But even if I hadn't failed, if I had gone on succeeding, would that have been any better? The whole time I was clawing my way up the ladder at FAS, the company's military division was creating tech that would end the world. I served the same master. Success was the lead to nowhere. It just took falling off and landing on the Vantage project to see it. I don't know why, but the irony of that never hit me until I was standing on this beach. That it was only because I'd failed and had been assigned to Vantage, an abandoned time capsule project, that I found out the world was ending. Irony? More like a cosmic joke. Why then did the realization hit me like an inspiration? I had access to the tech. I know I could do it. Sure, in the end, it would probably all just come to nothing, like everything else. But for 50,000 years or more, whatever data I left behind would still be here. It wouldn't be much, but it wouldn't be nothing either. I went back to the cottage, stashed the drugs, called a lift spin into town. If I was going to make an end-of-the-world tour, I figured I might as well do it in style. So I leased a Sabara and then rode that to FAS. Let myself in the lab, signed out 12 Vantage spikes for testing, put them in the truck of the Sabara, and the rest is history. It was less than 2 weeks ago. Feels like forever. When I started the tour, I figured I'd come back here and pick up where I left off, get high, then dead. The first thing I did when I got back was incinerate all the drugs. All 2.5 months of salary's worth. So that bridge to oblivion has literally been burned. I don't know how I'm going to die, but it can't be like that. I know how you felt about me and the drugs. However it happens, I can at least promise you this. I will die clean. I still have one last spike to sink. One final stop on the Grand Mystery Tour. I'll see you there. Oh, I've got 2 flowers left. Oh, yep, there's the flower up there. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get that flower real quick. Alright. That dude was in the field arc. Yeah, he was, he worked at FAS. And got prior knowledge that the Pharaoh Plague was a thing and was going to eat the world. So, but he wasn't a part of Zero Dawn. So instead of, taking the easy way out, he decided to film his own apocalyptic log. Don't make me fight the goddamn Stormbird. Yeah, he wasn't part of the military division of FAS. Oh, there, I got it. Stupid Stormbird. Come on. Come on. Get up. There we go. There it is.
Easier when I was a kid.
Wee! Ow! Alright. In autumn rain, the grasses rot and die. Below the steps, the Juming's color is fresh. Full green leaves cover the stems like feathers, and countless flowers bloom like golden coins. The cold wind moaning blows against you fiercely. I fear that soon you'll find it hard to stand. Upstairs, the scholar lets down his white hair. He faces the wind, breathes the fragrance, and weeps. Alright, 2 more collectibles. Alright, let's go for that metal flower first. Okay, so can't go that way. I love being exposed to machines.
Definitely. Awake now.
Frickin' Glintox. entirely sure I'm supposed to be able to get up this way, but I'm doing it.
Down you go.
Doot, doot, doot. And there it is.
The old ones didn't leave these.
By its own nature, it towers above the tangle of rivers. Don't say it's a lot of dirt piled high without end. The mist of dawn, the evening cloud draw their shadows across it. From the four directions, you can look up and see it, green and steep and wild. Sounds like a mountain.
They're new.
Alright, now for the vantage point. Ow. Technically, we are really close to sunfall. Because there's a sun ring right there. You have spare glider. You don't get a glider in the first game. In
Another message from the
Forbidden
ancient past.
West, you do get a glider. Makes things so much easier. Rice Orbital. Yeah, the Sun Ring was actually a launch pad.
Day 12. As we watched the booster arc up into the night sky, riding a pillar of flame, you took my hand, squeezed it, and said, "You have written the story of our family across the stars."
Alright. Alright, the last vantage point. Hi, Ma. Last stop. After this, I'll have said everything I need to. It was just a routine launch, but for us it might as well have been Apollo 11. It was my first payload, a Seeker extractor with upgraded propulsion system I designed. The vehicle was destined for M89-282, an asteroid rich in ruthenium and tungsten. A metallurgic claim, as it happened. Family event, through and through. So there we stood, in the open air, as night fell and the stars came up. Of course, I was thinking of that night years before, when we watched the parasites together, and talked and dreamed of this very moment. You were thinking of it too, because when the booster launched and as it rose into the sky on its jet of flame, you took my hand and said, You've written the story of our family across the stars. Even then I knew it wasn't true. The vehicle was headed for a rock, not a star. It was a routine launch, not some voyage of discovery. But my heart was too full to quibble. I just smiled and squeezed your hand back. It's the finest moment of my life. You and me, Ma. Onwards and upwards. Start of great things. But after you died and I broke down, the meaning of that night changed. Everything that had seemed wonderful seemed to turn rotten and false. It seemed false because it was false. I'd never written anything across the stars. Sure, I'd hoped to work on a project like that, deep space probe or a colony ship, but it never happened. And now that my career was over, it never would. And then, when I found out about the plague, memory haunted me even worse. Because it just wasn't me who failed to write a story across the stars, you see. It was all of us. Our entire species. All of our innovation, our tech, our striving. And it came to zero. I've been looking up at the stars a lot, Ma. And the only story I see written across them is that we are small and insignificant, and will soon disappear with hardly a trace left behind. It's a hard story, and I don't much like it. So I guess maybe what I've been trying to do these past 12 days is tell a different story. Not a big story, written across the stars, but a tiny one, written across the humble earth of the only world we ever got to know. I have no reason to think that anyone or anything will survive to ever read it. Whether that happens or not, the truth of the story remains. That once upon a time, on a planet called Earth, there lived a boy named Bashar, who loved his mother very, very much. Goodbye, Ma. I love you. Bashar Mati, son of Amal and Bias Mati, stepson of Wyatt Mahante. November 24th, 2064. And stuff launch. It was it did launch, but it was just a mining probe. So, in the grand scheme of things, it was, yeah, he got something into space, but it wasn't, like an extravagant deep space explorer, a colony ship. No, he was just sending a mining robot to an asteroid. Yeah, it's better than nothing, but the point of it is especially the last part, he was bitter that the human species was going to go extinct because we hadn't been able to make a foothold on another planet. We were trapped on Terra, on our cradle. And there's echoes of real life in that one day, we don't know when, but Terra will no longer be able to support life. Whether it's because humanity does it, whether by spawning suns over continents, whether a meteor decides to enact Dinosaur Extinction 2 Electric Boogaloo, or the sun just goes nova. Terra's lifespan is finite. And if we don't want the human species to be tethered to Terra's lifespan, then we need to make our claim elsewhere. We need to expand beyond our solar system. Humanity's destiny is in the stars, and we're doing a horrible job trying to claim it. Alright, so before we head to the Frozen Wilds, we're going to sell all of our collectibles. And then we should be ready to head into the cut. Although I might want to say that for next stream, I don't know. Depends upon time and stuff. Because the first mission of Frozen Wilds is longer than I usually expect.
A moment of your time, Outlander? Ah, you're back. Did you bring me some... Ah.
Alright. Grab that. Grab that.
Till we meet again. Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
I got nothing left to give you there, buddy.
Always the ones you least expect that cause you trouble. Go for a drink and a bite.
Yes. I remember you. Yes, yes. Trade quickly. I have work to...
There we go. I'm not arguing with you that found out humanity was going to be extinct. Yeah.
I will leave you to the hunt. Be sure to delve into the ruins.
Not what I imagined when I was a boy, but it's decent work keeping the city safe. Should be out there fighting machines, not pacing around here.
Filter. Merchants. Project. Yeah, Far Zenith, which, as far as we know, that ship blew up. Unofficially, though, Far Zenith may or may not be a thing in Forbidden West.
Back from the wilds. Find any Banuk relics? You ready? Come on back. I'd like to discuss a trade with you.
Yeah.
Lander?
Alright. It made it to orbit and then it died. Or it blew up. If you're talking about the Far Zenith ship. It exploded in orbit. Sorry. Inventory management. That's an hour. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and have a short stream this time. So that way we can have more time for Ace Combat later this afternoon. And that way we can also start Frozen Wilds with a full time limit. So we'll just travel here and we'll go ahead and call it good. Alright. So for streams for the next week, later this afternoon, probably in an hour or so, we're going to finish our Ace difficulty playthrough of Ace Combat 4. Thursday, or tomorrow, we're going back to A6. Yeah, they did give me a lot of stuff. Going back to A6, and we're going to redo the showcase for the Mirage, because the video quality, or the audio quality in the last time we did it sounded like crap because I forgot to add a voice chat party, because Xbox is weird like that. Friday we will have the Dragon Age Golems of Amgarak DLC. It's a one-shot. And then Friday night we'll have Batman Arkham Knight, Harley Quinn Arkham episode. Then Saturday we will have The Witcher 3. And we're going to continue going around north of Crookback, because there's a bunch of stuff there. And I'm trying to get a high enough level so I can actually get better armor. Then Sunday in Baldur's Gate 3, we're going to talk with Isabel, which will trigger a fight. And then we're going to head to Moonrise, because there's someone we need to rescue. Well, there's a lot of people we need to rescue. Then Monday, Final Fantasy IX. Next Wednesday, and Horizon Zero Dawn, we're going into the Frozen Wilds DLC. We're actually approaching the end of Zero Dawn. And depending upon whether or not I've beaten Forbidden West, we might have a breather game in between the two. That'll depend. Who knows? Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun. I know it was a rather short stream today, but I want to vote the time needed for Frozen Wilds, and less than an hour, isn't it? Anyway, see ya in a couple hours with Ace Combat 4. Take care, everybody.